What is going on, YouTube? It's your boy Blue J Tay, and I am back again with another one, man. Do something that scares you. No matter what career choice you decide to choose, no matter what you end up doing with yourself, the idea of not pursuing or the idea of not taking a risk, no matter what risk that is fearful enough. If you do not train yourself to be able to overcome the possibility or the what if I fail idea or theory, then you will never become who you really want to become in the long run. Comfort itself is the enemy of progression. If you allow yourself to get so comfortable where you're at, you're never going to physically be able to get to where you want to be. And one thing that really helped me with this concept is who you are today and who you want to be are both things that you're battling with. We all develop these habits and the things that we do on a daily basis that define who we are at this current moment. But the thing with life is that you need to constantly be stripping away at who you are, pursuing who you want to be. So that means letting go of old habits, moving out of certain places that do not provide you value, anything that has anything or any relation to your comfort zone. Those are all things that are going to keep you contained and confined in a current area or in your current position. So the thing about life is the fact that when you do something that scares you, this puts you in a position to not only gain that mental courage that you need in order to go out and do the things that you may want to do, but you learn along the way. If you do one thing daily that frightens you or puts you in that uncomfortable state, this is you chasing or pursuing this version of yourself that you want to be because it doesn't relate to your comfort zone. Anything out of your comfort zone, just imagine it having a direct correlation with who you want to be. The things that we find most comfortable are often not always the healthiest for us. And when I say healthiest for us, I mean terms of longevity and constantly trying to reach this greater version of yourself in life. You have to really give those things up. You have to be willing to sacrifice that old version of yourself in order to reach that new version of yourself. And you do this by doing the things that scares you, because this puts you in a state of mind of having to react. And when you're forced to react, you gain a sense of knowledge and wisdom on how you truly feel about certain things inside. So really just take the time right now to imagine how far or how much you will grow if you chose to do one thing daily that scares you. And to clarify by scares, that could be anything that makes you uncomfortable, anything that may give you anxiety or just that feeling of fear and not knowing the possibility of what could possibly happen. And if you break life itself down, you'll quickly realize that whether you choose to do the things that put you in a better position or not, life is going to be very scary if you don't take that risk. And it's going to be very scary if you do take that risk. It's just something that you have to be willing to endure. But whether you decide to do it or not, you're going to have to deal with the consequences of not getting up and having the courage to go out and pursue the life that you want in the long run. You have to just be willing. You have to be able to put yourself in this position mentally to endure whatever it is that may come with that feeling of being fearful, because you simply do not know what the future has in store. But in order to put yourself in a position to take a risk or to do something that you wouldn't normally do, you have to eliminate distractions. Because I like to look at it in a way like this. Distractions, things like, TV, playing a video game, hanging out with friends who aren't helping you reach that level that you want to reach, or cell phone, social media, all of these things tie into our comfort zone. We do these things because we understand, one, they may bring us joy, two, we're comfortable doing them. If they put us in a position to have anxiety or to be fearful, we would not do these things. We wouldn't do it if they didn't give us that feeling of, comfort. And we all know that comfort eventually leads to complacency. And you simply don't grow in your comfort zone. You simply aren't able to reach that higher point in your life the longer that you're stuck surrounded by those distractions that you're entertained by. So in order to be able to do something that scares you, you have to completely remove all distractions from around you, because like anyone else, once you are face to face with something that's fearful, let's say you put one foot in and you're actually going out to try to conquer it, right? Once you do get in that position where you're doing it, you're going to realize that, okay, this is fearful, this makes me uncomfortable, I have anxiety. Let me run back to the one thing or the things that make me feel comfortable. And for a lot of us, that's our cell phones. For a lot of us, that's social media, that's our friends. And we simply do not need to have these distractions around us while we're trying to reach that higher point in our lives. So, really, just take the time to remove all of those distractions, mentally train and prepare yourself for what's to come so you're not relying on not only your cell phone, social media, but the people that's around you. Because we often make people safe havens, and then these safe havens eventually lead to us being let down in a sense, because you can't be relying on anything or anyone but yourself, because in reality all you do have is yourself. But if you train yourself to believe that you have everyone and everything else, that's exactly when those things are going to start pulling away from you. But each day we should be focused on growth, and the idea of doing something that scares you daily is exactly what gets you to that position. The idea of putting yourself in that position and be uncomfortable, putting yourself in that position of fail, not knowing the result that you may get, understanding that regardless of what happens, I know that at the end of this journey, I'm going to acquire knowledge that I can use to further advance my life, or I'm just going to reach a higher point. But this is the common misconception, is because so many people feel as if you put yourself in a position to do something, no matter what, you're going to succeed. And I'm sorry to say this, but success is not always promised. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you can probably agree with that. But success does not always come from just continuous work. You have to make adjustments. You have to understand the things that you're doing wrong in order to further improve, or to pretty much just say, get over that hump in the road. Because I could spend majority of my time doing things that are fearful, not understanding or not fully comprehending the fact that I'm just repeatedly doing the same thing. I may be working, it may seem as if it's quality work to me, but if you don't make adjustments, or if you don't change something in order to get through that next hump in the road, then you are not going to further progress. And you just have to be aware of that. You have to be aware of the adjustments that you have to make in order to get further in life. But that's something that I really had to learn the hard way, because back then I used to think hard work, or just any work in general, was going to get you there. But I quickly realized that when I didn't go to the NBA, that's a lot of people's dreams, just go be a professional athlete or something. But I quickly realized that, and I spent a lot of my younger years actually working, I would say, hard to get there. And that's when I realized that all of the hard work that I was putting in, the things that I was doing that may have scared me, weren't necessarily the things that needed to be done in order to get through or get over that next hump in the road. It's just little adjustments that you have to make. You can only do so much work by yourself before you just need to be awoken or experienced or put in a position to see other viewpoints, or gain different knowledge in a different area that you can use and take away from, and then apply those things to your life. But when you're okay doing things that scares you, this puts you in a state of mind to really just go out and conquer anything that you may want in life. Like I said before, life itself is scary. And it's scary because you just don't know. Each and every day, we're going into the unknown. You could do your best to try to predict the future, but things just are naturally going to happen that, one, you would have never saw coming, and two, that you just can't predict. And the way that you better prep and plan for these things is putting yourself in that position to do these uncomfortable things that you may need to do, because this gives you a sense of experience. If you've personally been through something before, you're going to know how to overcome it the second or third time, or whenever else you may be faced with it in your life. But always just keep in mind that my version of doing something that's frightening is not going to be the same as yours. So this is why it's never good to compare yourself to the next person, because one person's version of success is completely different from the next. So the things that scare you are going to help you reach that next version of yourself in your life, based on all the principles, your morals, and things that you've witnessed up until this point. This has nothing to do with the next person. So if you see the next person reaching higher, milestones, or getting further than you are in a shorter amount of time, that's based on things that they've learned and witnessed throughout their life and principles that they're applying. You shouldn't waste time comparing yourself or acting as if you're not worthy enough simply because you aren't where they are. The truth of the matter is, life itself is unfair. And the only thing that you could do is just work and deal with the cards that you were dealt. Embrace your journey, embrace everything that comes with it, the failure, anything that may put you in this position of being frightened or having anxiety. These are things that you need to face, because you can only run from certain problems, especially mental problems, for so long. Take the time to endure, take the time to really build up the courage to go through it, to face each and everything that may be frightening to you. Because I'm telling you right now, success is on that other side of the things that scares you. Right now, majority of us, probably 9 out of 10 of us, are sitting in our comfort zone. We're cool. We're doing the things that we want to do on a daily basis, the things that may bring us peace. But that 1% of people that are out there and that are constantly going at it and battling in life, those are the people that are uncomfortable. Those are the people that are spending the time doing things that are frightening to them. And they're probably the most successful people. Take the time to be one of them. Take the time to transform your life and turn yourself into the person that you know that you're capable of becoming. Nothing in life that's worthwhile is going to be handed to you. You have to go through these points where you have anxiety. You have to go through these points where you're fearful. Because even me personally, growing up, I was never a social person. I didn't like being around people. So for me to start this YouTube channel and for me to be able to speak openly and be able to articulate myself in a way that kind of gets across, I get my point across to a bunch of people that I may not know. At first, it was a very overwhelming experience, but you have to mentally train yourself to overcome any fears or things that can be holding you back. You have to literally imagine yourself in the position that you are, then your fear, and then success on that other side. There is no escape. There is no running from it. The only thing that you could do is go through that fear to reach that point of true solitude. But if you're stuck in this position right now where you may be stagnant and you may not know what direction to go in, go straight, go forward. Take the path that may seem hard and complicated. Take the path that may seem fearful to you. Because I guarantee at the end of the day, that's going to be that path that gets you to that next level. That's going to be that road that you've been realizing this entire time. If I would have done this 4 or 5 years earlier, I would have been further than I would have ever probably been. And it's probably the truth. So really just do the things that scare you today. Start slow if you have to. One thing daily that puts you in a position to change your life, to change the way that you think and you perceive this version of, the world that you've been living in thus far. But if you made it to the end of the video, I just want to say thank you so much. It's your boy Blue Jay Tay. Drop a like, comment, and subscribe. And y'all know I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.